Yeah, hello and welcome to our first interview at the New Beats. I'm Marcus, and my first interviewee is Headass U. Hedy, thank you for your time. Could you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I go by Headass U. Big shout out to New Beats for the interview, man. Really appreciate you bringing me on. You can call me Heady for short. Right now, I'm just rapping, doing the writing and all the performance and engineering for my music, so not doing the production quite yet, but been commanding a lot of the music videos that I've been doing, a lot of the marketing and management that I've done, getting my shows pulled together. That's all been me. So right now, pretty fully independent, my own management. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's a lot of stuff to do, I think. It's a lot of work. But I listen to your music. I've seen your music video or your music videos. I think it's two by now. And yeah, they're very good. So
Thank you, man.
yeah, I feel like you can be a good artist. So yeah, let's see what will happen in the future. Um, by the way, your name's Headass U. How did you get that name? Like, it sounds very special to me. Like head and ass, and how did you get that?
So basically, before I was doing music, I used to do stand-up comedy. So comedy was really like I was really just trying to be the funny man. So I used to have like a meme page on Instagram. So that was the name of it, was Headass U. So it was kind of like my music name was sort of delved out of like what I wanted my comedy image to be. But I think I honestly like took a lot of the comedic parts of my past and brought them into my music. Like for a lot of my more like animated or entertaining lyrics, I feel like some of them are definitely funnier in nature. So like the name itself doesn't have like a ton of symbolic meaning, but it was just kind of like what my persona was before the music, and so I kind of felt like I wanted to keep it around.
But did you come up with the name by yourself, or how did you get that?
I did come up with the name by myself. There was a particular meme. I'd never seen the word headass used up until a certain point, and there was a certain meme where I saw it and I was like, damn, that is a really good description for someone. And I was just going into college, so I felt like U was a cool like what if there was a headass university, So that's kind of that, just kind of a sort of a little dumb like question. I was like, that could be a cool name.
Yeah. So it's Headass University, actually.
Yeah, I don't like to spell out the university part too often, but sometimes I'll say the U stands for you, like YOU.
Ah, yeah. That's a good way to think of it. That's actually great. And since when have you used that name?
Let's see. I started doing my comedy back in 2018, so it's been about 4 or 5 years now.
Have you also started doing music at that time, or when did you start doing music?
I did music for, or I did stand up rather for about a year before I kind of decided that it wasn't for me. I was just doing a lot of open mics like in my town, um, and I just decided that I wanted like a little more like emotional flexibility. Like comedy just kind of wasn't exactly like doing it for me. Like I felt like there were sad emotions that I couldn't quite process through comedy, and I was like, music seems like a better outlet for the emotions that I'm trying to convey. So I'd say about a year I did stand up, and then I kind of switched entirely to music, and I haven't done stand up since.
Ah, all right. And have you done music before? Like, have you learned an instrument or something like that?
Yeah, I was in. I always like when I was little. I used to watch. We have this show. I'm sure there's a German version, but like America's Got Talent is what we call it over here. It's just like a big talent show. And I always thought that I could go up there and like do a song and dance, but I never really did anything musical until I played the drums a little bit in like fifth and sixth grade. But apart from that, that was America's Got Talent was really my only like musical aspirations for a while.
Yeah, that's interesting because I also played the drums actually when I was younger, but it's also like I think 15 years ago. But so I can relate to that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and but your music is more like in a hip, like you could say it's a kind of hip hop, it's kind of rap. How would you describe it?
Definitely think I pull from a lot of genres, some that have not honestly been fused together. Like lately, I've kind of been in this mode where I'm doing like cloud rap stuff, but it's also got like some distortion applied to it. So it's like I'm pulling from dark trap, I'm pulling from dark distorted trap, I'm pulling from cloud rap, I'm pulling from industrial hip hop, I'm pulling from experimental rap. So there's like, I feel like there's a lot of genres that I'm constantly pulling a little bit from, and just like rounding myself out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that you do some dark music, I would say. It's definitely not the mainstream music we hear a lot. And what do you like about this music? I mean, you already said that you can also put the sad parts into the music. Is this the main factor for you to do this kind of music?
I think probably for a lot of artists, you would find like when they really are honest with themselves, like the emotional part, music is a therapy for a lot of people. So like, honestly, probably for myself personally, like being able to make a song every day, like is a part of what I consider to be like my self-care, like my therapy, just like making sure that I keep my head right. So I definitely would say like the consistent like process of making music like keeps me level, and that like that's the emotional part of it for sure. But I feel like also like I want this to be like a living for myself, and I want to be able to like inspire people and like provide them with certain emotional outlets, whether that's like anger or sadness or just like energy. So I feel like it's both. Like I want to provide something for myself, but also provide something for like the community.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I mean, I've heard that from other rappers as well. Like I think Lil Peep put a lot of emotions into the music.
Definitely. Shout out Peep.
Yeah, definitely. And R.I.P. to Peep.
Mm-hmm.
You also hear it from other people, like I think Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande use it as well, but not in cloud rap.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, that would be definitely. They should try it. I think, man. That's a good idea we've got here.
Mm-hmm. That should pop off. Get a Ken
Yeah,
Carson
man.
feature, or Destroy Lonely feature. Oh, that shit would chart. That shit would chart.
Yeah, man. We will definitely DM them later and ask them to do that.
And they'll definitely respond quickly. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, man. And as I said, yeah, I listened to your music, and I think over the years, it got even darker. I would say it got darker and darker. Like I listened to your albums. I think it's 9 by now, and yeah, they got darker and darker. And your new album A came out on August 1st,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's like the peak of darkness for now.
Hell yeah.
Maybe it gets even darker, but for me it sounded like very dark. And when I listened to it, I thought of, because you used lots of electric or robotic sounds, it made me feel like I'm in a futuristic world where robots have taken over, and it was like the end of humanity. Or like the end of humanity was at least near, I would say.
Damn, that's dope.
That's how that's how I have seen it. What inspired you to make that album and create it in this specific way?
That's a great question, man, and I appreciate you segueing it in with that. But yeah, that's a great question, man. I just really feel like a lot of the sounds that I'd been sitting on, and like a lot of the songs I had in my vault for like 6 months, 8 months, some of them were even in there for a year. I was like, a lot of that was brewing, and I knew I needed to come up with like some like big, like I dropped Dark Web last year in March, and it's like that felt like a big build-up project, but that didn't feel like something that was really accessible to a ton of people, and that didn't feel like something that was as fun to listen to, honestly. So like I feel like I really went about this album being like, we're gonna make something that people are gonna get excited for, we're gonna make something that's good in concerts, and more than anything, we're just gonna make something that like sounds fun and sounds. And I think like my past albums had kind of strayed away from that, been a little less, a little more scaring the hose. I think not that this album doesn't scare the hose a little bit, but I think it just does it in a different way. And I think I'm kind of coming into my own in terms of the confidence of this album, because a lot of it, a lot of my music up until this point, I feel like has been practice and trying to find out like where I'm really at. But this album definitely was like the most fun. Definitely got the most excited about making it. So, shit, I feel like it's been a long process, but it's been a long process of like finding myself along with the music.
Yeah, but I think I like if the way you tell it. I think you can also feel it that you really enjoyed it and did it with heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's show the viewers a short clip from your music video. Nothing Left to Say. It's also part of the album, and it's the latest music video you made connected to that album. And yeah, just let's give them a quick clip of that.
Lately I've been cooking like a steak while I steak you out. Steak you out. Hello baby, get me laid. Yeah. Nothing left for me to say. Wait till I blow up so abrasive.
Alright, that was Nothing Left to Say by Headass U. It's a cool music video, I have to say. And you mentioned earlier that you are creating the music videos by yourself.
Yeah,
right?
so like a lot of them, I don't have the camera for it, so I'll end up linking up with someone, usually in my area who's got some more videography skills. But I definitely like to take a good solid hold on directing it. I think some of my favorite creators are the music video ones, especially the ones that try to do it differently. Big shout out to Motif Productions. He didn't do the Nothing Left to Say video. He did Telltale Heart and Hold previously. But I always just have a lot of fun working with that guy. He's definitely got that like Quentin Tarantino spirit to him, always doing some crazy ass shit. And just not giving a fuck about anything except for the final product, which that's the best thing.
That's some big words, I have to say. Quentin Tarantino, man.
And he knows it too. That dude is on his shit.
That's great, man. That's great. Yeah, maybe you'll work in the future together as well.
I would love that. I've been homies with that dude for a while, so definitely can see a bright future with him for sure.
There's more to come. There's more to come. Perfect, man. Perfect. And you also work with other people for your music, right? So I've seen you have a couple of features. I've also seen Jupilux and B-Man. You feature with them. And both of them are actually pretty big on Spotify, I've seen. I think they have like about 300,000 monthly listeners if you count them together on Spotify. How did you connect with them, and yeah, like what did you learn from these features?
That's a great question. Basically, I mean, for all the aspiring rap artists out there who are trying to secure a feature, basically, I mean, first of all, you gotta have your money ready. That's a big thing. That's what these artists are doing. It's like a paid feature is a paid feature. You're probably not gonna get no work for free. So just gotta have your shit you're ready. Make sure your money's ready. But also, just going like with the polished sound. I think that's the biggest thing, man. A lot of artists will turn you down if you feel like you're still looking for your sound. But really, artists want to work, even if it's not the highest quality. Artists want to work with someone who's kind of gotten established. You don't even need a following, but you just need to have a little bit of something. So just going in there with a polished sound, money ready, and a good attitude, I think those are honestly all the biggest things you need. But man, what I learned from those experiences, definitely a lot. I think a big thing I learned was patience. Like every artist is on a different schedule and on a different trajectory. Some artists are going to be way more willing to like be keeping in contact with you and be reposting your shit. Whereas others might be a little more like reclusive, and that's like totally fine, like that's just how it goes. Everyone's on their own path.
Exactly, people are different.
Yeah, different working schedules, different everything.
Yeah, that's great. Like that's something you need to learn definitely if you want to keep up in that business. So yeah, but it's good that you learned that, and yeah, you also did the track "The Alchemist" with Jupilux. And that's one track that is on the Newbies playlist on Spotify. So check that playlist out, check that song out, check the whole album out. The album A by Headass U. And yeah, go check out the playlist. It's got also other artists, like many upcoming artists who are on that playlist. Yeah, so check it out and yeah, enjoy the music. Okay, perfect. Then I think we've got time for a quick game, I would say. The game is called Guess Which Artist Set the Line. I haven't come up with a better name, so if you've got a better idea, just tell me. And yeah, so are you ready?
I think I'm ready. This is going to be a good game.
Okay, yeah. I think the game says everything about the name of the game says everything about the game. Just guess which artist set the line. So the first line is, "Yo, I'm a hot and bothered astronaut, crashing while jacking off to buffering bits of Azeroth eating applesauce." Is it by A, Tyler the Creator, or is it by B, Earl Sweatshirt?
Damn it, you're good. I'm going with applesauce while eating Azeroth. I'm going with Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's one of his older songs. It's by Earl Sweatshirt on his track Earl.
That was on Earl? Damn, I should have known that. I knew it was familiar. Those are some iconic bars.
Yeah. I think it was actually the opening line for that song. So yeah. Okay, then the second line. It's hotter than a set of twin babies in a Mercedes Benz with the windows up when the temp goes up to the mid 80s. Is it by A, Eminem, or by B, Lil Wayne?
That's Eminem, definitely.
Yeah, that's Eminem.
Let's go.
I forgot about Dre, it's his feature, and yeah, I love that line, to be honest. It's kinda hard, but yeah, I love that. It's really good. Okay, now the last one. It's he thinking he the one, I got like 4 of him. Is it by A, Ice Spice, or by B, Coil Ray?
You saved the toughest one for last.
Yeah, of course, man. It's not getting easier.
Ice Spice, man. I don't know. I don't think Coil Ray is the one saying that.
He thinking he the one, I got like 4 of him. She's a player. It's by Coil Ray on Players. Yeah.
I can't even feel bad about that. I've never heard a Coil Ray song.
Nah, no worries. I mean, I have to say it's a really good song. You should check it out. Like,
I'll check it out. All right, I got you, bro. I got you.
And as
Hell
you hear,
yeah.
she has bars, man.
She got far. I'll get her on the feature, man.
Yeah.
I'll get her on the track.
All right, yeah, and actually that's it for today. Send me some of your lyrics, and then I may include them on the next interviews as well. That would be
I
great,
got you.
man. And yeah, thanks for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Of course,
Check out Headass U. Like, he does dope music. Definitely check him out. Check his album out. It's out since August 1st, and yeah, check out his socials. They will be in the description, in the caption, and yeah, don't forget to check out the new beats as well. Check out our playlist on Spotify. It's also called The New Beats. It will also be linked on my profiles, and yeah, there are some really good upcoming artists, and yeah, the socials will also be on the in the caption, and yeah, so thanks a lot, Hattie.
Of course, man.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
See you next time, guys.